I just created light. Wait, no, I didn't. Energy can't be created or destroyed. How did that happen then? Well, I ate my lunch a while ago, and my lunch is what gives me energy to move. So I can press my finger down. There's a little bit of friction inside your lighter that creates a spark. That spark is going to light the fuel inside of the lighter, and that fuel is going to create light and heat. Fire. That fire, that energy, gets transferred into our wick over here, and there's chemical energy inside of here, which is what allows it to burn. The atoms that make up this candle are flammable, which is a chemical property, and it makes the light appear. So again, we can't just create energy out of nowhere. It has to come from somewhere. Even that food that I ate ultimately came from the sun. In fact, all energy in the universe originates from the sun, and we're going to talk about how through the law of conservation, right, it can't just be created. All energy comes from the sun and splits into 8 main types of energy. Your job today is to make sure you know all 8. Your prove it could be on any one of them. This should be a review, so hopefully we're ready to dive in. The first energy type we're going to talk about is where we have a big atom, and we remember the inside of our atom is called the nucleus, so it's nuclear energy. On the back of your card, you're going to write, it's caused by splitting apart the nucleus in power plants. This is super dangerous, which is why we only have it in power plants, and the only other place you're going to see it is in the sun. One of the reasons our sun is so powerful is because it's made up of hydrogen, and those atoms, the nucleus, which we know is protons and neutrons, are splitting apart and generating a lot of energy. The next one we don't want to talk about is this molecule. We have a molecule of water, 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. So on this one, we're going to write chemical. So for our chemical energy, you're going to turn that over, and you're going to write the 3 main places we find chemical energy. It's stored in food, batteries, and fossil fuels. And this energy gets released in a chemical reaction, just like we were talking about in Unit 1. Notice that both of those were potential or stored energies. The last type of potential energy that we're going to talk about is gravitational potential. So you're going to find the card that looks like this and write gravitational. This depends on 2 things, which you guys already learned about this week. It depends on the height and the mass. All of that potential energy can get transferred into kinetic energy, which is how matter moves. So the first one we see is this flame. And just like we talked about exothermic and endothermic, heat in science is thermal. So we're going to write thermal energy under that flame. And thermal energy is just heat. What heat really is atoms speeding up or slowing down, and heat moves from hot to cold. So like we talked about, if I add heat energy, my atoms speed up, they have more energy. As I decrease my energy, the temperature goes down because these are getting colder and moving with less speed. We got 4 down, 4 to go. Next one is probably the easiest one to recognize. Whenever we see a plug, we know we're talking about electrical energy. Sorry, my handwriting is sloppy today. trying to get through our notes quickly. Electrical energy, like the name suggests, elect, has to do with moving electrons. And we're going to write that little negative symbol because we know electrons are negatively charged. So electrons are super, super small. Remember, teeny tiny. And those things are moving anytime we see a plug. Our next type of energy, you can probably guess, is sound. Sound is moving energy because when you listen to things, those sound waves move and vibrate your eardrum. That eardrum vibrates back and forth and sends a message to your brain. Moving sound waves for sound. We got two more. The second to last one is electromagnetic. So you're going to find the picture of the sun, and you're going to write electromagnetic. This essentially just means light, but there's actually more energy types than just light in our electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic is a fancy way of saying light, but we want to include the whole spectrum. So go ahead and write that down. Light moves. Light waves move from our sun, from our light bulb, super, super fast. And they move sometimes acting like waves, sometimes acting like small particles, which we call photons. If you've ever taken a photo, that pho word means light. Last thing, we've got our car. If your car ever breaks down, you take it to a mechanic. That's because mechanics work on things that move. So mechanical energy is just large objects that move. And that's our very simple definition. So today your job is to make sure that you know all 8 cards and you know their definitions. Throughout the rest of the unit, we're going to go deeper into thermal energy, into sound energy, and into some more specifics about how energy works, specifically fossil fuels and how to best use our energy. But today your job is to, especially if you have a bad memory, do whatever it takes during practice to make sure you know these. As always, make sure you're working hard and you're ready to pass your proof it.